lead over the Penguins, and Crosby and Malkin and Colby Armstrong up front for Pittsburgh as this game is underway. The Kings win the draw, and Dustin Brown got knocked down, and the Penguins with it. Here is Colby Armstrong, sends it across the King line. Now it rolls free, swept by Aaron Miller out to center. Miller and Nordstrom back defensively. The Kings have Camilleri up with Kopitar and Brown to start the game. In front is Camilleri, score! Camilleri 25 seconds into the game, and the Kings lead 1-0.
Well, the Kings have the young guys too. Michael Camilleri, only 24 years old, and the Kings picking up some loose trash right in the crease of the Pittsburgh Penguins. And for the second game in a row, the Kings score first. They score early to get on the board. First man pressure. You see the Penguins in a drop stick. That prevented one of the Penguins. Fleury's kind of going one way. Camilleri actually stopped the puck. What Camilleri's looking to do here, watch it. He's looking to go to the backhand. The puck actually stops as a young goaltender, Marc-Andre Fleury, has been asked to play a little calmer style. That time he overplayed it, and because the puck's still there, Camilleri makes no mistake on the second chance. Kings lead 1-0.
Camilleri leads the Kings in goals with 6. That's his first goal, though, in the last 6 games. 25 seconds after the opening faceoff, and the Kings with a 1-0 lead. Here in deep is Josef Melikar. In front, shot by Avery, and a save at point blank by Fleury.
Now the Kings get on the board, take another look at the goal as Avery comes right back with a chance. So the Kings starting out quick. It starts way back in the Kings zone. The back check will be started. If you can get slow right here, guys, keep an eye on Armstrong. He's going to lose his stick right here in the neutral zone. So when the puck is played along the boards or around the boards, he's really not in position to pick it up. You see he's looking for the stick. That causes confusion. From that point on, Fleury out of position. Camilleri up top.
Dustin Brown gets the assist on the goal at 25 seconds. Kings with a 1-0 lead, and off the draw here, the Penguins 2-on-2 back out to center ice. Nils Ekman used to be with San Jose. His pass broken up. He gets it right back again. He shoots, and off the glove there of Kluche. Puck taken on the right side and put down by Jordan Staal. Staal only 18 years old, number 11 for Pittsburgh. Puck is taken by Mark Recchi and dropped it off to Staal. Staal's pass knocked away by Wisniewski. Penguins get it back again. Here's the veteran Mark Recchi in front of Staal. He scores, and Staal ties the game at 1-1.
Well, the Kings like to play more of a zone in their defensive zone this year, so they have layers. It's not necessarily going to be one-on-one. When that happens, though, you have a little bit of time if you're the opposition. And the Penguins took advantage of this time with Jordan Staal working a give and go down low. Stahl's along the boards. Recchi's there. Recchi picks up the puck, and all in one motion, Recchi on the backhand slides it between the pads of Dan Kluche. You'll see again with Staal. He's on the boards. He beats the Kings out, not necessarily to the front of the net. So when that puck goes in, you'd have to think that Staal should not be able to get a stick on it right here with Kevin Dahlman right on him. But it's a weird bounce. The goaltender down, didn't see the puck, and the Penguins tied up 1-1.
Well, Staal has points in 4 straight now. His first 3 goals, Jordan Staal in the NHL, were shorthanded goals. He's only 18. Puck back in the King zone again, and quickly the game is tied. Picked up now on the right side and driving back behind the net. Comes around and a save by Kluche on that shot from the left side by Talbot. Back to the blue line and driven wide by Mark Eaton. Held in by the Penguins, and along the boards the Kings dig it out and unable to clear yet, but now it slides over to Sopel, who had a great game 2 nights ago with a couple of goals and blocked shots. Puck driven down into the Penguin zone, swept back out to center ice. Falling down there was Chris Thorburn, and Kings have it again. Fired in a high shot, and the goaltender Marc-Andre Fleury makes that stop. So we are early in the first period and 2 goals scored already. 1-1 the score. Long pass into the Kings zone. Goaltender Kluche passes up the left side. Kings turn it back the other way. Coming back to center is Kopitar. Now a return pass to Kopitar from Brown. Broken up and cleared back out to center ice by Colby Armstrong.
Good job by Armstrong there, Bob, to apply pressure from behind on the back check. And that time he did the right thing. He had his stick in his hand so he could play the puck when it came there.
Here is Sidney Crosby. Crosby gives it to Armstrong. Malkin is on the ice. He's number 71. Crosby is 87. Shot wide to the left side. On the goal by Staal. Here's a pass up the middle and comes to the blue line. Held in there and then knocked away by the Kings. And back they come to center ice. Pass didn't make it through. They were trying to break Kopitar at the blue line. Staal got his 5th goal of the year. Recchi and Ekman with the assists at 1:15 to tie the game. Had 7 shots already in the game, and we just played 3 minutes. Puck down in deep, and Poked away into the corner. Avery going for it there for the Kings. Avery with it. Sends it back behind the net to Frolov. Frolov's pass back out to Wisnowski with a hard shot wide. Rebound right side. Blake with a drive. Tipped in front and just wide. Puck comes back out toward the blue line, and the Kings have it again. Here on the left side, Frolov into Avery. Avery, Penguin zone to Wisnowski. His shot is wide. Rebound. Blake pinching in, can't hold it in. It comes back out to center ice. Maxim Ouellette with it. Ouellette hanging on. His pass comes over on the right wing side. Played there, and a shot wide to the right side by Dominic Moore. And the puck cleared back out to center ice. 1-1 the score. The Kings scored 25 seconds in. The Penguins a minute 15 into the game. Camilleri for the Kings. Jordan Staal scoring for Pittsburgh. Here is Kevin Dahlman for the Kings. Dahlman sends it back to the blue line of Pittsburgh, and taken there as the Penguins have it. Sergei Gonchar with it. Penguins have not lost on the road yet this year. 3-0. Last time they won their first 3 on the road was 1994. Here is Dahlman across the line. He gets stopped at the right point. A shot from there and a save on a shot by Sopel. And then getting wiped out in front was Brian Wilsey. He got hit there by Mark Eaton. And we're going to get an icing call against the Penguins.
You know, the Kings continue to put the puck at the net with a little bit of traffic. That's a pretty good trend. There is Jordan Staal scoring his 5th NHL goal. Another look at it, you'll see Staal go to the net along with Dahlman. Now, Dahlman, responsibility, control the stick. You see Staal raise the stick of Dahlman and gets the puck. Now, that goal is not necessarily scored from a great area from the standpoint of how much room Staal would have, but still, in that area of the ice, you have to make sure, if possible, to lock up sticks. Of course, that's the most important and dangerous part for the opposition player.
And a save here by Fleury, and he hangs on as Patrick O'Sullivan back in the lineup tonight got that shot.
O'Sullivan gets a chance to get back in, and of course, they've been talking with O'Sullivan to try to just work on his work ethic and the little things. We've seen Patrick O'Sullivan, Bob, in the past when he has a breakaway or a chance for a loose puck, he's right after it. He looks like a great skater. Other areas of the ice, he's not as eager to get onto that puck. So those are the types of things that they're just trying to make sure all 200 feet of the ice, once he gets that, then the skill will come through and he'll score some goals.
Each team scored on their second shot of the night. There's a drive by home game. They go on a 2-game road trip after this to Phoenix and Colorado. Puck comes back behind the net. Played there by Josef Melekar out of the Czech Republic for Pittsburgh. He throws a check and knocks down Kostopoulos. Puck taken on the left wing side again by the Kings. To the blue line to Wisnowski. His drive is wide. Rebound going to be picked up by Jarkko Ruutu. He can't clear it out. Held into the blue line by O'Sullivan.
There's one of those little things with O'Sullivan. Did the right thing, stayed in, but got back into the middle high to protect the middle of the ice.
Penguins bring it back down the right wing side. Thrown down in deep by Maxime Talbot. Now behind the net. Talbot didn't get it, but a pass on the right side. A shot, and it's knocked down in front and picked up by Kopitar. Kopitar back to center ice. He's got Camilleri on the right side. Camilleri pulls up. Camilleri still with it. Gives it to Kopitar. Kopitar, the leading rookie scorer in the league. Out to the right point. Aaron Miller with a shot. Knocked down. Kopitar waits. Still has it. Up the middle. His pass intercepted. He didn't have the right angle to shoot, and he threw it up the middle, but it was intercepted and cleared by Maxim Talbot. Here's Kopitar again. Shoots and a save. Kings are firing away, and a penalty against Pittsburgh coming up.
Transition game working for the Kings. Kopitar on the first chance. You're exactly right, Bob. He was looking for room to find the puck in behind Fleury, and Fleury made the right move. Watch him, Fleury go across on his knees. Slide, slide, slide. He took away the room, so Kopitar can't see room. Then the Penguins cover the front of the net. Later, right up about 10 seconds later on transition, you see the variety that Kopitar brings to the game. This time he elects to just drill the shot high on the shoulder. Right as the Kings were driving to the net, Malkin goes off for tripping. Kings on the power play.
And the puck cleared back down into the Kings zone. The Kings 28th in the league on the power play at 10.5, and the penalty killing for Pittsburgh tied for 11th. They are 29th on the road, though, in penalty killing out of 30 teams. Let's see if the Kings can take advantage of this. Puck is loose, cleared toward the boards, and then fired the rest of the way by Dominic Moore.
Of course, Jordan Staal now just going off the ice, taking a breather, but he has 3 shorthanded goals on the season. So as a young player, even though his team's shorthanded, he's looking to score.
They were almost ready to send him back or trying to make a decision. Does he goes back to junior hockey at Peterborough or not? And they decided nope. He's had such a good start, he's going to stay with the Penguins. Jordan Staal.
He did it the old-fashioned way. He earned it.
Puck is cleared up ahead. Eric Stahl, his brother, won the Stanley Cup with Carolina this last spring. Puck thrown down and deep. The Kings now down to a minute left to go on this power play.
Quick changes by the Penguins up front. They have had only a minute gone by and already made a couple changes.
Kings bring it across the line. Thrown down into the corner by Brown. Brown gets stopped there. Pinching in is Wisniewski. He holds it in. Wisniewski gave it to Brown. His pass taken away, and it gets by Camilleri. Picked up now by the Penguins. Here on the right side, Dominic Moore. He waits. His pass broken up by Blake, and the Kings come back the other way. 35 seconds to go on the power play. Down the left side. Kings with it in the Penguin zone. Along the left wing boards. Here's Dustin Brown. He got it down in deep. Now behind the net, Kopitar back out to Blake at the right point. Slides it over to Wisniewski. Wisniewski waiting. His pass in front, knocked down, and the Penguins are going to have a chance to clear, and they bring it easily to center ice. And Dominic Moore just hangs on to the puck with only 12 seconds to go in the King power play.
Scootery right there with the fronting position in front of the net for the Penguins. So that little wrist shot coming in from Wisniewski didn't have any pace on it, and Scootery just blocked it down, cleared the zone.
Kings have no shots, and the power play is over. Penguins back at full strength. Ryan Wilsey down the left side. Game is tied 1-1. Each team scored on their second shot of the game. Ryan Wilsey again. Out to the right point, Aaron Miller. Miller sends it in the corner, broken up by Crosby, and now up ahead to center ice. Penguins with it, Sergei Gonchar. Gonchar's pass taken away at the King blue line and sent by Scott Thornton back down in the Penguin zone. 11:42 to go here in the first period. 1-1 the score. Flipped down in deep there by Noah Welch for Pittsburgh, and in the corners, Aaron Miller. He got check pass in front, score! Miller got knocked down, and Malkin. Long time since anybody's done that. The first year of the NHL, 1917-18. Joe Malone, Newsy, Lalonde, Cy Denny. The first two from Montreal, Denny from Ottawa. So we sat in and we brought you some NHL history tonight. We'll be back. Well, play underway once again. Is Malkin is sixth with goals in 6 straight, points in 6 straight. Crosby gets an assist. He's got points in 5 straight. And Colby Armstrong at 8:29. And the Penguins again. There's a shot and a save as Recchi had a good chance. And a save by Kluche. And all of a sudden the Kings giving up some big scoring opportunities to Pittsburgh.
Right from the middle there in the slot too. So the Penguins are getting those chances. We'll take a look at that goal again. We talked about the turnover. There it is right there in the corner. You got to stop right here, guys. Crosby's going to pick up the puck. Excuse me. Crosby will pick up the puck going one way. Malkin's going the other way. So you have that misdirection. But as soon as Malkin spotted that loose puck, he went to an open area. A lot of times, guys, when you talk about hockey sense, it's a difficult thing to explain. He went to the opening. He just didn't drive to the front of the net because sometimes the front of the net is where all the traffic is.
Gonchar had that drive. It was deflected wide and picked up now by Crosby. Walks in front and ran right into the goaltender and knocked him down, and the loose puck is there. Shot knocked down in front, and Nordstrom made a save, and now we get everybody squaring off.
We'll see if the Kings can pick up some energy on here because the Penguins are going to the front. They're getting shots from the front. They're driving to the front. Dan Kluche no longer has a mask on because of all that traffic. Credit the Penguins with going after loose pucks. There's Malkin. He had a jab at it, and the puck is free right there in the crease. Crosby tried to take a backhander at it. Armstrong comes in to help out his defenseman who jumped in. You can see Mark Eaton right there. Here's the initial contact. And from this point on, you see Malkin jumping on. Look at that puck. Whoa. It's in there for about 2 or 3 seconds. And then finally another opportunity. So the Kings have been guilty with some kind of shoddy coverage in front of the net. On the other hand, I credit the Penguins for just driving, going. They're going to those areas. Earlier, Malkin backed off because of traffic. That time, he spotted a loose puck and tried to jam it in.
That man, Matty Nordstrom, came sliding across to make a nice save. Jim, before you asked, no, I did not see those three guys score 6 straight, 19, 17, 18. Yeah, I can read your mind.
Yeah, okay. You heard it on radio, though, right?
Puck comes back down into Sergei Gonchar, chased down by Avery, taken away or held by the Pittsburgh Penguins zone. They got it out to Michel Oulet, and taken now by the Kings again. Here's Avery at center ice. So the Kings score 25 seconds into the game and now trail. Pass a shot there, knocked down by Fleury. Rebound, Avery again takes a whack at it. It comes loose to the Kings. Here up the middle. Pass to Frolov. He didn't get much on it, but play. Puck thrown back down into the Pittsburgh zone. Pittsburgh on the power play as the Kings have killed the last 24 penalties. And a puck taken by Brian Wilsey. Wilsey in the Pittsburgh zone. He gets checked along the boards. Crosby was there, and the puck comes out to center. Taken down and driven right back in. Koloff went down, and some fans looking for a penalty, but play continued, and Pittsburgh on the power play. They are number 1 in the NHL on the road on the power play. Conroy steals the puck and can't get a good shot, though, as Malkin came back to tip it away, and he gives it to Mark Recchi.
Well, it certainly has been a rejuvenated Craig Conroy in the last few games, picking up the assist in the last game. This one here on the penalty kill, getting up front, and really just as the first man going at it, pressure, he was all over Malkin.
Well, that leads them in power play goals with 3. Fans were applauding that nice play by Conroy. Kings don't clear it here, though. Penguins hold it in. They get it over on the left wing side. Here's Yevgeny Malkin back behind the net to Crosby. Colby Armstrong right out in front. Pass comes up the right side. Taken there by Ryan Whitney, another outstanding youngster with his team. Now on the right wing boards. Taken there by Crosby. He gets checked. Kings take it away. Can't clear. Ryan Whitney holds it in. Feeds it over left side. Gets it back again. Whitney doesn't take the shot. He's got Crosby on his right side. Feeds it down. Now Crosby has it on the right wing. 27 seconds to go on the power play. Here's Sidney Crosby. He gives it up the middle now on the left side. We've got Malkin over on the right side, down in deep. Here's Crosby. His cross-ice pass. Shot from there and diving on Recchi's shot. And knocking it away was Kluche. Recchi with it again. 10 seconds to go on the power play. Armstrong back to Recchi. Malkin's down in the corner on the left. Crosby goes right into the slot. Here's Malkin to Crosby, and his shot wide. And that hit Malkin up around the face. High, perhaps the stick did, because a penalty coming up against the Kings for high sticking. We'll be back.
Huge and strong, so all that quickness is there too, but at the same time, he has a whole bunch of powers.
Well, the Kings get another penalty, and they don't clear the puck. Here on the right side, Nils Ekman. His shot deflected into the corner by Sopel. Picked up there by Maxim Ouellette, or Michel Ouellette. Puck comes back on the right side again to Ekman. Ekman feeds it down into Yevgeny Malkin. Back up the middle it goes, or excuse me, that was Jordan Stahl that fed it back up the middle, and now it's cleared out to center.
Even though there was a TV timeout, Michel Therrien, the head coach of the Penguins, decided he's got to get more of his guys involved in this game, so coming on the power play, their second unit. Sergei
Gonchar, top of the slot. Feeds it now, a cross-ice pass, almost taken away, but held in, and then a shot wide by Ryan Whitney as it was tipped away. Malkin lives with Gonchar, and he knew him from playing with the teams over in Russia, so it's a little more familiar to come over to North America and room with a fellow Russian. Here is Crosby up the middle, shot from there, and a save on Whitney's shot. Puck taken again by Crosby. Crosby on the right side of the power play. They got 4 more seconds to work on it. Crosby with it. Crosby shoots, blocked. Crosby has it again. Now up the middle. Gonchar, he waits, sends it left side, pass back over to Crosby. His shot wide to the left, picked up by Whitney. Whitney to Malkin. Malkin behind the net to Crosby. Quick pass in front and broken up. They had John LeClair, the veteran, in front of the net.
That time the Kings were controlling sticks in front of the net. It was Aaron Miller against LeClair, and Miller took his stick.
Long pass to Crosby, and he gets hit pretty good there by Conroy. Loose puck. Kings are going to have it. Rob Blake has it. 20 seconds to go in the King penalty, and it's cleared by Blake.
Once again, Craig Conroy making his presence felt right there. That was a solid, hard hit on Sidney Crosby. Crosby thought he was going to have more time, and Conroy takes the body.
Here's Yevgeny Malkin, pulled down at the blue line, and a penalty against the Kings. 3 seconds left to go, and the Kings get control of it with 1 second left on that penalty.
And the Kings, I think, are looking for maybe a coincidental right here. They're looking for a little bit gone down easy. We'll see how easy it was. A couple of sticks. It was actually a collision leg on leg, but then after the spinorama, we've seen that call before with embellishment. I talked about stick on stick earlier. LeClair is set up in front. There it is. Stick gets in the way by Aaron Miller. So the coverage in front of the net is so important on any penalty kill. And Conroy goes to the penalty box. So as soon as the Kings come back to full strength for at that time, the late penalty, and Conroy goes to the box. So the Kings faced in the penalty kill again.
Well, they had 1 second left on the original penalty, and I thought the Kings are going to be 2 men short for that second, but they've taken that off now. And The Kings draw their third straight penalty, and the game is in the hands of the Penguins. They have a 2-1 lead. Here's Avery with a nice move to the blue line. Avery looked like he was going to bring it back to center ice and then decided to drive it in deep into the zone. But now the center, here's Colby Armstrong. Armstrong for Pittsburgh, trying to set up the power play. Sends it into Ekman. Ekman trying to get it to Recchi. Taken away and tipped out to center ice.
Neat little spinorama there by Sean Avery on the boards. He was on his off wing, used the stick to spin, controlled it all in one motion, able to clear the zone.
Kings have Dahlman, Wilsey, Miller, and Nordstrom to kill the penalty. Puck comes down the right side and centered. Bounces right back to the Penguins. They get it back to the right point to Sergei Gonchar. He moves it to Recchi. Back to Gonchar. One-timer blocked and over to Recchi. Throws it quickly in front. Tipped away by Aaron Miller. Miller goes for there and still battling. Gets double teamed. Ekman had to go behind him. And the Kings clear to center. One thing, Pittsburgh, they waste no time in throwing that puck at the net.
Well, that's the one thing. You get the focus of the defenders, the penalty killers going one way, and sometimes everyone collapses, and many times it opens up room away from the net.
Here's Evgeny Malkin down the right side. Now a pass intended for Crosby, taken away by Sean Avery. Avery with a soft pass, but is broken up by Gonchar. Gonchar gives it to Willett. And the Kings take it away again as Avery gets to it. Now gives it to Sopel. Sopel's pass, now a pass over to Avery.
Low to help out defensemen, because even though you're shorthanded, the other team is going to crash in front. You got to help out down low.
Now the Penguins with 19 seconds left to go on the power play. Pass on the right side out of the reach of Crosby and picked up by Nordstrom. Nordstrom backhander, fired the rest of the way as Matty got it up to the blue line, and then it was clear the rest of the way by Wilsey. 3 seconds to go in this power play for the Pittsburgh Penguins, and it is now over. Conroy out of the penalty box. Kings still trail 2-1 here in the first period. Puck cleared out to center ice. Taken there by Noah Welch, born in Boston, went to Harvard University. Got a couple of players from Harvard. Dominic Moore is the other. Probably lead the league in crossword puzzles.
They got a couple of guys that are too young to go to college.
Puck taken by Miller. I had an interview with a player the other day who said, I don't remember the 80s. I was too young. I said, I hate players who can't remember the 80s. Puck down in the left wing corner of the Penguin zone. Kings trying to tie it up. They get it back to Vishnowsky with a drive and a save, and the rebound was right there for a moment. But the Penguins jumped on it and cleared it out to center ice. The one thing about Marc-Andre Fleury in goal for Pittsburgh tonight, they say he needs work on puck handling and control of rebounds. And there have been a couple already in this game. And it rebounded off of the goaltender right out in front of the net. 2-1 in favor of Pittsburgh. They got goals from Jordan Stahl, his 5th, and Evgeny Malkin, his 6th, a goal in his first 6 consecutive NHL games. Kings take it away, but a pass to an open left wing and back to center ice. Here comes Thornburn, and he fires it into the King zone, taken there by Ekman down in the corner, and his pass back on the right side to Thornburn. Thornburn puts it down into the corner, chased down there by Sopel. Sopel had it taken away, picked up by Talbot. Talbot checked along the boards by Armstrong, and Armstrong back to get the puck. Now Talbot takes it away. He gives it to Nils Ekman. Ekman shoots, and a save by Kluche. Rebound, Penguins have it again. Back to the blue line it goes. Ryan Whitney now along the boards in the King zone. It comes free, and Armstrong has a chance to skate it up toward the blue line with 2:07 to go in the first period. At the end of this period, Patrick O'Neill will talk with one of the Kings players. Puck comes back out to center ice. Penguins fire it down the right side, batted away by Vishnowsky, back out to center, taken there by Jordan Stahl. Stahl, their #1 pick this past draft in June. Now Rob Blake back in to get it for the Kings. He gives it over to Lubomir Vishnowsky. Pass to center ice, broken up there by Noah Welch. And he throws it right back in. Puck picked up by Recchi. Recchi for Pittsburgh, shoots from a sharp angle, knocked away. Picked up again by Crosby, and he just threw it right back in front of the net, but the Kings have it. Working on a 3-on-2, off the line, left side, Frolov. Frolov's pass into the corner, bounces over to Malkin. Malkin gets it out to center ice. Now Vishnowsky for the Kings. 1:09 to go in the first period. Picked up by Andrei Kopitar. Kopitar's pass tipped away, and the Penguins get it back out to center. Here's Yevgeny Malkin. Malkin stops there, had it tipped away by Kopitar. Kopitar back on the left side to Brown. Dustin Brown driving his pass in front. Nobody there for the Kings. It was cleared away by Mark Eaton of Pittsburgh. And the Penguins jump on the loose puck there with 43 seconds left to go in this first period. Here's Crosby. Pass up the middle. Tipped away there by Camilleri as Gonchar tried to move it off to the left side. Now Malkin with it. He gives it in behind the net to Crosby. Kicks it over to Armstrong. Colby Armstrong trying to fight away from a check. Still has it behind the net. And still has it. Now back to the blue line. Held in there and thrown by Mark Eaton behind the net. 17 seconds to go in the first period. Here is Gonchar the right point. Gonchar to Malkin in the slot. Malkin's pass gets it back. Shoots, save, and hanging on is Cloutier. But Malkin gets into that high-scoring area.
And Mark Crawford obviously not happy with the officiating. He's riding the referees pretty hard right here. Talking with Mark this morning. Again, the scouting report on the Penguins has to do a lot with that skill and youth, but at the same time, Mark brought up, with that youth, you have a whole bunch of energy and work ethic. The Penguins know they don't have as much maturity as a lot of teams, so they get away with it or play better because they just go out there and work hard. Since allowing that first goal, that's the way it's been. They've taken it to the Kings.
Face off in the Kings zone with only 8.9 seconds remaining in this first period. And the Kings control it. Penguins are 0 for 3 on the power play with only one shot. Driven in there and a save by Fleury with 2/10 of a second to go, and that'll do it. So Camilleri scores first for the Kings, but then Stahl and Malkin score for Pittsburgh, and they lead it 2-1.
Lemieux, it's more style. Of course, Lemieux's a Hall of Famer. The numbers, I don't think Malkin's going to get those types of numbers, but at the same time, when you look at him skating, Malkin's a left-hand shot, Lemieux is a right-hand shot, so that kind of changes things too.
Here's Dustin Brown, shoots, he scores! And the Kings again have scored 13 seconds into the start of a period. Dustin Brown ties the game at 2-2.
Another thing I would look for from the Kings is pick up loose pucks in the neutral zone and shoot the puck on net as quick as possible. I think that's what they have to do. Dustin Brown picks up the loose puck. You see Camilleri take the body. The defender comes across. The goaltender will tell you that's a bad goal from the standpoint. It comes from far out. It's a wrist shot. At the same time, Fleury looks like he's out. One of the few times you'll see a goaltender off his angle. Fleury was protecting too much to the short side, and it's very difficult to beat a goaltender from that far out with a long side shot. But Brown with quick wrists, and Brown had the speed. The last 3 games, Dustin Brown's been on his game, skating, and that time he was very quick to jump on that loose puck.
This is like name that tune. Camilleri said, I can score 25 seconds into the game, and Brown said, I can score 13 seconds.
To see him early in the first period, he drove to the net. That time he elected to shoot the puck.
Dustin Brown gets his second of the year, unassisted, 13 seconds into the second period, and the game tied at 2. Now, as I mentioned, the Kings started the game with a goal 25 seconds in, but then Pittsburgh took over, and they had a lot of pressure in the Kings zone. Let's see what happens here. Here's Malkin, gives it to Crosby. Crosby behind the net, his pass up the middle to the blue line, taken by Melikar. His drive is wide. Rebound to Frolov. Frolov gets it out to the blue line and out to center ice. Coming by is Conroy to pick it up. Here is Craig Conroy into the zone. Pass right side Miller with some room. He shoots. Save. And the goaltender Fleury got backed into and knocked down, but the puck stayed out.
That's Sean Avery right there. Now this is where a referee has discretion. He has to determine, first of all, once the goaltender leaves his crease, the goaltender has to be in control of his body. The offensive player in Sean Avery, you see outside the crease, he falls back onto the goaltender. If the puck goes in here with Frolov, you could have no goal with no penalty at the same time because the referee might rule incidental contact. Nothing happened as far as a goal being scored, but you have to credit Sean Avery with going to the front of the net. And sometimes the goaltender creates the contact by coming out to meet the shooter.
Face off in the Penguin zone. Derek Armstrong for the Kings. And off the draw here against Mark Recchi. The puck comes out to center ice. And back to the King blue line. Game tied 2-2. Here's Brian Wilsey. Tips it back behind the Penguin net. Marc-Andre Fleury cuts it off there. Sends it back on the right side. Sopel trying to find the puck. Couldn't do it. Gets brought up to center ice by Mark Recchi. Recchi is with his 7th team. He's in his 18th year. Puck taken away, and here's Recchi in the slot. And then a shot deflected as Nils Ekman had the shot. And the Kings, Brian Wilsey blocked it. Got it back out to center ice. And it is thrown back in by Wilsey. The Kings touch up to stay onside. Second period just underway. Bob Miller along with Jim Fox, Patrick O'Neill, Tom Murray, Christine Nubla. And we're glad that you've joined us tonight to see some of the brightest young stars in the National Hockey League. Nils Ekman back behind the net. King zone. Taken away there by Wisnowski. Now Scott Thornton. Back to Wisnowski. Gives it to Rob Blake. Blake up to center ice. Tom Kostopoulos sends it in. Dahlman playing center again tonight. Chases it down. Kostopoulos shoots at the side of the net. Thornton in front. Kostopoulos backhander knocked down. Thornton in front to Dahlman and just off his stick. He had the open right corner. Picked up by Kostopoulos again. Now in front. Dahlman reached out, couldn't get it, and the Penguins back to center. Kings were inches away from taking a lead in the game.
A little bit of an honest forecheck by the Kings right there with 2 men hard on the puck. Thornton was in front. Kostopoulos, everyone exchanging positions to get on loose pucks.
And then Jarkko Ruutu tied up back behind the play with Wisnowski, and they separate. Wisnowski goes to the bench. Ruutu stays out on the ice for Pittsburgh. Puck fired in by Mark Eaton. He's out of Wilmington, Delaware. Went to Notre Dame University. Long pass ahead. Right side. Here's Camilleri. His pass in front of the save as Kopitar was driving to the net. And the puck cleared back out to center. Picked up by Aaron Miller. Gets it to center ice. Andrzej Kopitar. Tipped away from him. Brown gave it back to Miller. Now here's Dustin Brown with it. Brown steps across the line. Pokes it in deep. Kopitar trying to get there. He runs into Ryan Whitney. Now the puck comes free, and the Penguins, Ryan Whitney chasing it down. He gets it up the left side to John Leclerc. Tipped away and taken by Melekar. Boy, remember Leclerc in '93 playing for Montreal. 2 straight overtime goals in the finals. Here is a pass in front. Avery didn't get it. Frolov threw it to Avery and it bounced over his stick. Tverdovsky with a drive wide. Rebound picked up by Sopel. Sopel turns his pass, taken away by the Penguins. Boy, wide open game, Jim, and I don't think the coaches like this type of game. The fans certainly do. And we get
good job by the Kings in this period to get on the forecheck.
Kings with a chance on the power play now to regain the lead. Dominic Moore playing with a broken stick goes off the ice for Pittsburgh. Kings are 0 for 1 with no shots on their previous power play. Held in by Wisnowski to Armstrong. Armstrong in the Penguin zone. Gives it now to Frolov. Back to Armstrong. O'Sullivan is on the ice in front of the net. Rob Blake is in the slot. Here's Blake with it, but chopped off of his stick back to center, and Wisnowski back together.
Lubomir Wisnowski has his stick cocked right back at the blue line, just waiting for any opportunity to get the shot on goal. Blake moved into the slot, but he was a right-hand shot there. When he gets the pass, he can't shoot it.
Roloff backhanded it in. Armstrong gives it to Patrick O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan behind the net. Now over to Frolov. Kings on the power play. Up the middle, Wisnowski. Back to Frolov. Frolov, he sends it down to Armstrong. Armstrong in the Penguin zone to Wisnowski. Shoots on a second rebound. Score! Rob Blake was right in front of the net, and the Kings have the lead at 3-2.
Well, the Kings took their time creating a focus down low in front, and as we've seen so many times, Rob Blake goes down low and he stays there. I mentioned a couple of seconds ago, Lubomir Wisnowski had his stick cocked, and you can see right there he's ready to shoot it. There's traffic. It's actually a defenseman that runs into the goaltender, and that creates all the problem. I think it's big Mark Eaton. He just tries to clear the front with Rob Blake. And you can see the defender goes down on top of the goaltender. From that point on, it's loose puck, empty net. LA Kings with Rob Blake. It is Eaton. And Rob Blake on the back end with a chip, and it works. So you get the traffic, you have the one-time shot. It's fundamental power play hockey. Kings lead 3-2.
Wisnowski will get an assist on it, and the Kings with 2 quick goals in the second period have the lead at 3-2. Puck taken now by Michel Roulette, and it's taken away with the Kings, and here they come across the line 3-on-2. Frolov to Conroy. Conroy hanging on, tried to give it to Frolov. Puck comes up the middle, but the Kings couldn't go in to get it. They had to hang back. Here's Evgeny Malkin. Malkin's pass goes over on the right side to Crosby. All over him is Frolov. Frolov and Crosby. Crosby falling down. Gets it in front. A shot wide there by Ouellette. Picked up again now by the Penguins to the blue line. Shot is knocked down. That shot by Mark Eaton, and the puck cleared back out to center. Blake gets his second goal of the year. Wisniewski and Armstrong with the assists at .454. Backhander there by Avery and a save by Fleury. Kings try to hold it in, but it comes out to center, and Avery back to get it. We played about 6 minutes of the second period. Here in is Dustin Brown, Brown going back behind the net. Hangs onto it again. Back to the blue line. Shot from there by Tverdovsky is wide. Picked up by Camilleri. He gives it down to Kopitar. Camilleri, Penguin zone. Gonchar took it away. Again, Camilleri and a backhander deflected wide. Held in by Tverdovsky to Kopitar. Andrzej Kopitar. He gives it back over to Camilleri, but he didn't get it. Now Camilleri picks it up again. Now it's taken by Kopitar. Kopitar, left wing side, Penguin zone. Kopitar hangs on. Recchi tried to take it away. Kopitar protects the puck. Still has it. Kopitar up the middle. Camilleri with a shot blocked. Puck comes back on the right side. Held in again. Down into the corner. Now back in the corner where Kopitar tries to get to it. Camilleri had it. Knocked away from him, and Malkin gets it out to center ice to Recchi. In this period, the Kings have outshot Pittsburgh 7-1. And have 2 goals. Here's Recchi in deep. And a pass back in front, just went behind on the right wing side, went behind John Leclerc. Leclerc with it again. Jordan Stahl, the rookie, is in there. Leclerc trying to give it to Stahl. Here's Jordan Stahl with it, trying to spin away from Sopel. Stahl reverses his direction again. Now a pass in front, tipped up in the air, and the Kings get to it, and it is cleared. Boy, Stahl's got the long reach. Puck taken by the Kings again. Here's Wilsey across the line. Penguin zone, and Jordan Stahl is there to take it away and get it back to center. Stahl gets it again. And offside called against Pittsburgh. Wow, hope you're enjoying this game. Kings have a 3-2 lead. Again, our thanks to the Kings coaches who join us during the game from the bench, and we hope you folks enjoy that. Puck comes down into the Kings zone again and picked up on the left side and held in by the Penguins. Jarkko Ruutu drops it off to Ouellette. He poked it in front, and it's covered by Kluche.
Well, season tickets get you a discount on individual ticket prices, exclusive access to the Royal Room Lounge, and more. It's the best way to guarantee your tickets to Luc Robitaille's Jersey Retirement Night. That's January 20th. Season tickets start at just $12 per game. Order yours tonight, and you can get a free t-shirt, or call 1-888-KINGS-LA to find out more.
Face off in the Kings zone, back to the left point, and a shot from there, and a save. It was deflected and then knocked down by Kluche. The shot by Josef Melikar. Kings have it. Here's Frolov. Frolov driving, gets cut off there, and his pass deflects up the middle, and Colby Armstrong starts it back to center. Here's Evgeny Malkin. Malkin back over to Melikar, didn't get the pass. Crosby, Malkin, and Armstrong up front for the Penguins. Here is Crosby. Crosby gets it over to Malkin. Malkin drops it to Crosby. Sidney Crosby, pass in front, just underneath the stick of Colby Armstrong, and he had an open corner of the net.
If not for the back check there of Craig Conroy, again locking up the stick.
Kings have it. Here's Avery with Frolov. Avery in front, trying to give it to Frolov. It's broken up there. Penguins trailing 3-2. Kings with 11:22 left to go in the second period. Penguins overskated in the Kings zone. Kings move it back to center. Here is Dustin Brown. Brown tried to move in around Malkin, couldn't do it. Now Malkin gets checked from behind by Brown. Malkin left his Russian team in Finland and came over to the United States and came here to Los Angeles, and he worked out with a lot of the NHL players at the Kings Training Center in El Segundo. Puck comes back to Gonchar, the right point, King zone. His pass down in deep, and in front, saved by Kluche. Loose puck, shot from there by Eaton, and it's blocked with a lot of traffic in front of the net. Well, the goaltenders are getting run in this game.
Yeah, there's a lot of traffic in front, a lot of back and forth action, and back to that last goal by the LA Kings. Again, down low in front. There's Rob Blake. He's just going to position himself. Look at Wisniewski, stick cocked. I talked with Daryl Sador and Yaroslav Modry the other night after the game in Dallas, and they said that Rob Blake is almost impossible to control when he's down low like that. then you see the contract, then you see the open net. Rob Blake gets that big butt out there, not only when he has the puck or going after a hit, and he just holds off the defender, and when the puck comes free, gets a stick on it.
And in the postgame show, Kings Live tonight, we'll have a feature on Rob Blake as the net gets dislodged here and the whistle stops play. So we think you'll enjoy looking way back when Rob was a rookie in the league.
The whiskerless Rob Blake. He looked like a young kid. Michel Therrien is the head coach. Talked to him before the game, and he talked about, yes, his team is known for offense, and that's the way they're winning games, but he does say he feels they're playing a much better defensive game this year than they did last year. Now, not necessarily showing up in this game so far, but it's one of those things that every coach has to work on if your team's going to be a winner and a consistent winner.
Michel Therrien took over from Eddie Olczyk as head coach on December 15th, 2005. He was a head coach at Montreal for 3 seasons. You talked about the defense of Pittsburgh coming in. Not bad. 12th in the league. They're allowing 2.65 a game, so the Kings have already passed that.
When you know taking over for an Olczyk, you know one thing about the locker room in Pittsburgh is a lot quieter.
So are the bus rides.
Exactly.
Plane rides. Puck comes up to center ice and taken by the Kings. Across the line of the Penguin zone, but broken up there and cleared back out to center. Speaking of defense, Kings pretty good this year. 11 out of 30 teams coming in tonight. They're allowing only 2.63 goals a game. Penguins back in to get it. Ryan Whitney sends it around, and then it comes all the way back into the Kings zone and chased down there and picked up by Tverdovsky. Taken away, though, by the Penguins, but then they give it away to Scott Thornton. Penguins get it back again. Jordan Stahl, 18 years old. Puck taken by Wilsey for the Kings, and he clears out to center. We'll be with you Saturday night at 6 o'clock in Southern California from Phoenix. The Kings and the Phoenix Coyotes on Saturday night. Next Tuesday night, we'll be in Colorado at 6 p.m. Kings and the Avalanche. And then Thursday of next week, Kings back home to take on San Jose for the first time this year. 9 minutes left to go in the second period. The Kings with a 3-2 lead. 2 goals here in this second period. Brown and Blake. There's a check thrown down on the right wing side, and in came Kostopoulos to throw a check, but the puck came back out to center ice.
1-2 combination right there. Dahlman, Kostopoulos, very aggressive on the forecheck. Each man taking the body.
Kostopoulos again, checked by Mark Eaton. Kings hold it in. Now Avery to Kostopoulos. Back to Avery behind the net. Avery, Penguin zone. He's hounded from behind, but he got it out to Blake. Blake's pass off the back of a skate. And played by Gonchar now for Pittsburgh. Avery in to try and take it away. Now Conroy forechecking, and the Kings do get it. Frolov to Conroy, to the blue line, to Miller. Shot deflected wide, and the rebound to Sergei Gonchar.
Of course, the Kings want the matchup of Miller and Nordstrom back on the blue line when the big wheels are out there for the Penguins.
Malkin gives it to Crosby. Sidney Crosby, right side, trying to spin away from Nordstrom. Crosby spinning again behind the net. Gets it over toward Gonchar. Gonchar holds it in. Now Malkin gets knocked down by Nordstrom, and the puck cleared all the way back into the Penguin zone.
You know, when the Kings get a chance to match the forward line, they like out there Frolov, Conroy, and Avery again against Malkin, Armstrong, and that guy called Crosby.
Picked up by the Kings. Here is Dustin Brown, right side, shoots from a sharp angle, and it's wide. Puck is not held in. Penguins bring it back to center. Jarkko Ruutu has it. Ruutu across the line. Boy, that was close, but they say they stayed on side. Shot from the left side by Thornburn is deflected wide. Here he's got it again. Thornburn tipped away by Blake with a nice play. He gets it up to Brown. Brown to center ice. Shovels it off on the right side. Camilleri. Camilleri throws it in front and covered after Rob Scuderi tried to get to it. He didn't, but the goaltender Fleury did. They do. They're doing it at full speed. We're slowing it down for you there. 7 minutes left to go here in the second period. Kings with a 3-2 lead. They were down 2-1 at the end of one. But Dustin Brown and Rob Blake have scored here in the second period. Puck driven back behind the net. Chased down there by Ryan Whitney and cleared out to center ice. Kings throw it right back in. They touch up and play continues. Kings have 17 shots in the game. The Penguins 15. Here's John LeClair. Shoots, just wide. And it comes out to center ice.
Talk about inches right there. Of course, Kluche came well out to cut down the angle right there. Very difficult nowadays to beat goaltenders on the ice to the far side, but John LeClair came as close as anyone we've seen so far this year.
He had seasons of 51, 50, and 51 goals in 3 straight years, 96 to 98.
Scored some overtime goals too, I think, in his career.
Yeah, 2 of them that I remember back in '93, and I know all Kings fans remember him too. That was unbelievable. Montreal in overtime in the playoffs that year.
11 straight in OT.
2 straight at the Forum in OT. In the playoffs, Stanley Cup Finals.
The wrong Forum.
Yeah, right. Well, it would have been the wrong Forum either way. But.
Exactly. Uh-oh.
Puck taken by Recchi. Here's Recchi across the line. He drops it right side. Stahl with a backhander wide. Next stoppage of play, barring any thing that we have to do, we will let you hear from Sidney Crosby again. He was second in rookie scoring last year. Remember Alexander Ovechkin? We did see him here last year, and he was rookie of the year. Puck thrown all the way back down into the Penguin zone. Fleury clears it, and then he got hit by his own man. He got hit by Scuderi.
And he's still shaking it off.
Puck comes back into the Kings zone. 5:10 to go here in the second period. Aaron Miller gets a pass up the right side to Conroy, and he gets it out. Welch sends it around in the corner, and the Kings try to keep it alive, and they do. Avery, then he gets rocked hard on a check by Scuderi. Puck is behind the net. Frolov got knocked down. Now Avery comes in. Fans wanted a penalty on Crosby. Here's Crosby with it. Crosby gets it up to center ice, tried to feed Malkin. Picked up now by Rob Scuderi, but offside. Called against the Penguins. We'll be right back.
To decide to move him over to the wings. He says he's still adjusting, and certainly that would be a big adjustment. You have to make it at the NHL level.
Well, all he's done is score a goal in every game he's played in the NHL, so his adjustment is maybe ahead of schedule. I don't know. Puck is back behind the net. In the Kings zone. Kings with a 3-2 lead. Penguins dig it out. Here's a pass by Recchi to the blue line. Shot from there and knocked down. Kings start back to center, working on a 3-on-2. Pass over the left side to Armstrong. Armstrong shoots, and a save by Fleury. Now the Kings still with it. Armstrong left wing corner. Armstrong hanging on. To the blue line it goes to Nordstrom, to Miller. Miller at the right point. In behind the net to Wilsey. Back over now on the right side. Sullivan put it behind the net. Here's Armstrong, but he can't get to the loose puck, and Stahl clears it up to Recchi at center ice. I know you don't like it, Jim, from a travel standpoint, but my opinion now is with the schedule, if you're going to sell this game to the fans in cities like Los Angeles, I think the big stars have got to be here. You've got to see them at least once a year. This is Crosby's 91st game in the NHL, and it's our first chance to see him, and here we've got a capacity crowd. Puck picked up by the Kings. Avery's shot blocked. And it is cleared out to center ice by John LeClair. Chased down by Maxim Ouellet. Michel Ouellet. His first name should be Maxim. Puck cleared out to center ice and passed over now to Sopel. Sopel, Penguin zone, peels back, still has it. His pass broken up there by Ouellet. And he clears out to center.
Bob, my position on that certainly is that we want to see the stars, and from a player's position, though, any way you can limit that travel, because it is unbalanced already because of the West. The West has tougher schedule no matter what. You go back to an even schedule, and you're in trouble.
Here's Crosby in front, and unable to tip it in was LeClair. Kings come back on the right wing. Here's Avery. Avery still has it, looks for some help, backhands it down in deep to Kopitar. Kopitar checked by Whitney, and out comes Crosby with a puck. He gets it up to Colby Armstrong. Armstrong upset that he hasn't scored yet coming into this game, but he creates a lot of room for Malkin and Crosby. Shot by Gonchar up high. Loose puck came right back toward the front, and Malkin was there, but the Kings come out with it. They've got a 4-on-2 working here. Across the line. Brown right side. Up the middle. Kopitar had it poke checked off his stick. And back come the Penguins. Here is Yevgeny Malkin. Malkin across the line. Feeds it on the right side. Shot from there. Knocked down. And the Kings turn it back the other way. Back and forth. North-south action. Here is Brown from inside the blue line with a drive and a save made by Fleury in his pads. 1:30 left to go here in this second period. Kings with a 3-2 lead. Kevin Dahlman. Dahlman gets knocked down. He tried to get it to Kostopoulos. Tipped away, and now Kostopoulos trying to throw, or Dahlman trying to throw a check. Puck cleared out to center ice. Flipped across the line now and down in deep by Jarkko Ruutu in his 8th year out of Finland. Kings get it out to center ice after a hard check by Noah Welch. Taken away by Rob Scuderi. He's out of Syosset, New York for the Penguins. 1 minute left to go in the second period. Kings with a 3-2 lead. Penguins to the King line, and offside called against Pittsburgh.
I just want to go over the scheduling, Bob. The Pittsburgh Penguins, first time they've left the Eastern time zone is for tonight's game. They play tonight, 2 days off, then play in San Jose. 1 day off, then in Anaheim. They're back in their time zone again until January 26 and 27, back-to-back Dallas and Phoenix. Those are the only times that the Pittsburgh Penguins will be out of the Eastern time zone this year. So again, when you bring it up, the last Kings road trip, a 4-game trip, the Kings played in every time zone that exists in the United States, the continental United States,
right,
not including Alaska and Hawaii. But it's just one of those things. So if you go back to a more of a schedule where you're playing more of the teams in the East, I'm just talking from a competitive level and from a player's standpoint. Players really don't care who they play. They just want to play enough games, but you want to make it as even as possible.
Here is Frolov, left wing, waits, hangs on, turns, shoots, it's blocked in front. And a check by Avery down in the corner, and the puck back in the Penguin zone.
So the Kings have the counterattack. That's the best thing to do when you have the big wheels on the other line, on the other ice. But this is one of the first shifts in a long time where the Conroy line has not been out there against Crosby.
That came through in a save by Fleury. 20 seconds to go in this period. You know, the strange thing, back in 74-75, the Kings were in a division with Pittsburgh, Montreal, Washington, and Detroit, traveling commercially with a lot of travel, and had their best year ever, 105 points. So who knows?
I know. That does not mean a thing. It does not mean a thing.
And that is the end of the second period. Brown and Blake get goals to give the Kings a 3-2 lead at the end of 2.
Please call 1-888-KINGS LA.
Well, let's see who can score early in this period. Puck comes into the Kings zone. The Kings scored in the first period, 25 seconds into the period. Second period, Dustin Brown scored 13 seconds into the period. And now the puck slides down in the Penguin zone. Back to get it is Ryan Whitney. Put back behind the net, out of the reach there of Cloutier. Into the corner goes Aaron Miller. Crosby picks it up, and his pass went behind Michel Ouellette. And back to center come the Kings. Pass on the right wing side. Chased in by Conroy. Conroy checked in the corner, goes behind the net, rolled it out in front, taken away, and brought back to center by Ouellette. Puck taken now by Brent Sopel. Back in the King zone, and he gets it over to Oleg Tverdovsky. Tipped all the way down into the Penguin zone. This is going to be icing as Gonchar touches up.
Well, a reminder, the Lakers are certainly back.
They're 3-0 coming into this game tonight on the road. 6-3 overall in their first 9 games. Penguins shot from the blue line, knocked down and up to center ice. Kings with it, right side, and Dahlman with a shot wide. And the rebound held in along the left wing boards for a moment. Kings still trying to get control of it. Jordan Stahl put it down the corner. He's checked there by Kostopoulos. Now Scott Thornton to Kostopoulos. Walks in front. His shot blocked and played by the Penguins. Back out to center ice comes Recchi. He moves it ahead to Stahl. Stahl test. Left wing side. Tried to get it back, and it's taken away, and the Kings turn it back the other way. Kostopoulos on the right side, and he had no help. The Kings were changing on the fly.
And he was a little tired too there, Bob, so he was just waiting to see maybe the defenseman will fall down, something like that. Just waiting for any type of opening. If not, get the puck deep and make the change.
Kopitar back out on the ice for the Kings. Leads in assists and points on the Kings team. First in the NHL in rookie scoring, and tied for first in rookie assists. Andrzej Kopitar. He's not had a goal in his last 6 games. Puck comes back to the King line, and Wisniewski moves it into the neutral zone. Brown went for it. Wisniewski reached out as it rolled away from Brown, and Wisniewski tipped it back to the Penguin line. Now it comes off the boards into the King zone, and Lubomir Wisniewski back to get it. Got it out to center ice. Kings couldn't control it. Penguins have it. Down by a goal. Here is John LeClaire driving, and it goes over on the right side to Kobe Armstrong, and a shot wide. Held in again. by Ryan Whitney. Put it down in the corner. Here's John LeClaire. He's out of Vermont. Moves it back to Colby Armstrong behind the net. Now LeClaire again. Wisnowski bumps into him. LeClaire to Armstrong. Back it goes to the blue line. King zone. Mellicar now. LeClaire shoots and a save by Cloutier. Puck comes back to Mellicar. Left point. His shot and a save by Cloutier. As that puck came all the way through and the Kings get it out to center ice. Ryan Wilsey throws it in deep and the Kings change up on the fly again. 3-2 Kings. 16:50 to go in the third period. Here's Evgeny Malkin. He's got a goal tonight. Malkin into the zone. Sweeps it to the left side as it was swept off his stick by Aaron Miller. And the Kings gain control. Malkin has scored in his first 6 NHL games to tie a record, but set a modern day NHL record. I mentioned the last time that ever happened was the first year of the league, 1917-1918.
And the reason it's only the 6th game for Malkin here, his shoulder in the preseason did not start the season because he was injured.
Save made on the shot by Froese.
Two in the NHL right now, one waiting and one on the way in junior, so it's just going to be, I think there's going to be 4 by the time they're done.
Now the puck taken by Sergei Gonchar. Gonchar's pass knocked down by the Kings. Penguin zone. Wilsey got his stick on it, but now Wilsey chased it down again, but Dominic Moore sends it up the right wing boards. Kings with a 3-2 lead on goals by Michael Camilleri is 6th. Dustin Brown is 2nd of the year, and Rob Blake is 2nd of the year. Blake's came on the power play. Here's Thornburn at center ice, and it's backhanded down in deep now by Dominic Moore. Comes around the left side. Now Ruutu drops it off. Here's Moore again along the boards. Tried to give it down in deep. Broken up there. Penguins taking the body, trying to get back in here. All the tickets sold for this game tonight. 18,118. Kings' 3rd sellout of the year. Fans come out to see some of the great young stars in the NHL, including Andrzej Kopitar of the Kings. Here's Rob Blake.
Well, you changed my mind right there, Bob. You got to sell out. You got to pay the announcers. So make the schedule and change it up.
Get some more guys like Malkin and Crosby too. Puck comes up the middle and just tipped away as Wisnowski was ready to take a shot, but the Kings get it again. Kostopoulos has to wait now for Kings to get on side. Thornton was in the zone. He had to come back and touch up. Penguins move it back out to center ice. Thrown off the right wing board by Nils Ekman. His pass up the middle of the blue line and out to center ice, and an offside will be called if the Penguins touch it, but they don't. They get back on side, and now here's Sean Avery to center ice.
Don't talk about that rule too much anymore, but that tag up, you like that. It keeps the play going. It allows the players to get back into the action again. Every player, when there's a delayed offside on the offending team, has to retouch up at the blue line. Then you can re-attack.
Yeah, keep the play moving. Here's a pass in front, deflected. Their 4th power play of the game. They're 0 for 3, and they've had only 1 shot on it. Here's Gonchar. Gonchar to Crosby. His drive blocked. Crosby again. To Malkin, to Crosby, to Gonchar. Tipped for a moment. Crosby sends it across the ice. Shot from there. Blocked and back out to the blue line where Gonchar has it. Ryan Whitney had that shot. Here's Crosby again. He gives it now to Whitney. Whitney over to Gonchar to Whitney. One-timer saved by Cloutier. And the Kings unable to clear. Avery had it for a moment, couldn't hang on. Here's Whitney. Whitney to Malkin. His shot blocked. Blocked by Nordstrom, and the Kings. Avery gets it to center. Avery chasing it down with some room. He shoots just wide to the right. Rebound out to the right point. Frolov tried to get to it. He couldn't. Puck comes back on the left side into the Kings zone on the power play. Penguins with it. Pass right side to Malkin. He partially fanned on it. Trying to shoot off the pass. Good check by Blake back behind the net on Roulette, and the puck cleared to center.
Yeah, that check by Blake finished the check all the way. No one could jump on the loose puck except his teammates, and the King cleared his own.
50 seconds left to go on the power play. Malkin slows it down, moves it in deep, gets it right back again. Evgeny Malkin. His pass in front, and a loose puck after Roulette went down to the ice. King still can't get to it. Here's Gonchar. Gonchar gets it around to Crosby. He tips it to Malkin. 30 seconds to go in the power play. 1 shot on it by the Penguins. Crosby up the middle. Whitney, his pass, nice play by Blake to tip it away, and the Kings come to center ice. Blake tried to hit Frolov with a pass, broken up, and then Blake chased it down again and got his stick on it. 13 seconds to go in this power play. Malkin, he got run into, but he goes down to the ice. Here the Kings have it, shot by Frolov and a save. And the Penguins have it, and the Kings are back at full strength. Penguins get one shot on it. Here's Recchi, his pass, left side, and in front, Welch scores!
We'll have to keep an eye on here whether it went off the stick or off the skate or off both. But it was the counterattack, not a power play goal. The Penguins were attacking most of this period from the outside on the wing and using cross-ice passes in the offensive zone to be very effective. We'll get credit for the goal. That's what happens. We're tied up 3-3.
Kings just killed the penalty, and then the Penguins get the goal to tie it 3-3. No official announcement on it yet. Here it comes. They're going to give it to Ekman. Welch will get an assist. And will Mark Recchi get an assist. Puck is taken by the Penguins again. Recchi across the line. Backhander is wide by Ekman. Played there by Dahlman. He gets it up on the right wing side. Into the Penguin zone. A pass tipped away there, and Stahl gets it around to Leclerc. Now taken by Mark Eaton. So the game tied at 3. Ekman gets his third of the year from Welch and Recchi at 7:47.
That has been a trend in this period, specifically that pass across the ice, all the way across the ice in one pass.
Shot by Kopitar, deflected up out of play. So Nils Ekman gets his third of the year right here to tie the game 3-3.
The 3 golden rules of being a prankster. Number 1, deny you did it. Number 2, deny you did it. Number 3, deny you did it.
Are the quiet guys always the
pranksters? Man. You got to watch him. He is quiet. You'd never know.
Here is Leclerc giving it off on the right side and spinning down to the corner. Colby Armstrong. Now the Kings are going to take it away and bring it up to center ice. Here is Brown, right wing, and tried to make a move. Then he goes down. He tried to jump around Gonchar. And the puck taken by Mark Recchi. Recchi to center. Going down in deep, and it comes off a Talbot stick and back around to Colby Armstrong. They're taking Armstrong off of that line with Crosby and Malkin. Here again, going down in deep in the corner by Brown, and Kings will change on the fly with 10:27 to go in the third period. Bob Miller along with Jim Fox. Hope you're enjoying the game. It's 3-3 right now, the Kings and the Penguins. Jarkko Ruutu fires it into the zone, and then it's sent right back out in front. Kings can't get to the puck, but the Penguins poke it out to center ice as Ruutu tried to gain control. Sopel chasing it down. Going to change that goal. We showed on the replay, and as Jim said, it probably didn't hit Ekman. They're going to give it to Noah Welch. Recchi and Crosby will get the assist on it. How about Ekman? He got traded to Pittsburgh. So last year he plays with Joe Thornton. Now he plays with Crosby and Malkin. Puck behind the net in the Penguin zone, and Wilsey couldn't hang on.
I want to be on his team, wherever Ekman goes.
Puck is tipped up out of play from center ice. 3-3 here in the third period. We'll be back.
Are going to be good, and the Pittsburgh Penguins doing pretty good so far this season. 6-3 coming in. Orpik has mixed all the games so far this season with an injured hand. That's why he's not in the lineup.
Puck cleared back out to center ice now by the Penguins into the zone. Willett, his shot goes wide and batted up in midair and knocked down by the Kings. Here is Conroy, and his pass deflected back into the Kings zone. Penguins couldn't touch it. They would have been offside. But they get it now, and Welch fires it into the Kings zone. Welch credited with a goal, his first of the year to tie the game. Recchi with points in 4 straight, and Crosby with his second assist of the night. And the game tied 3-3. Dustin Brown for the Kings has 2 points in the game, a goal and an assist. Puck comes all the way down the Kings zone. Recchi chasing it down. Backhander. Couldn't get a good shot. Blake got back to break it up. Here at center ice. Frolov. Frolov gives it to Conroy. Conroy gets some help from Wisniewski. Excuse me, it was Thornton, not Conroy. Now taken by the Penguins and cleared up ahead to center ice. Thrown by Recchi into the Kings zone. Stahl goes for it, and he takes a hard check there at Wisniewski. the boards behind the net.
And that's the way to get ice time if you're Jordan Staal. Maybe it's not working one night offensively. You just got to make sure you keep taking the body.
How was your Halloween last night?
It was good, yeah. A little quiet, a little excitement. It was okay. My costume was pretty good. Dressed up as a Notre Dame football player.
Is along the boards in the King zone, and a check thrown there by Kopitar. Kopitar on Colby Armstrong. Kings come out with it. Pass to the blue line and offside called against the Kings as Kopitar had it. So you take a look at Andrzej Kopitar, and we mentioned early in our opening of our telecast that we're seeing three of the great future stars. Kopitar certainly one of them. Crosby another. Malkin another. Some great years ahead of them in the NHL. Kings have outshot the Penguins 22-19, but the game is tied 3-3. The Penguins tied it up here in the third period on a goal by Noah Welch. Wisnowski back in to get it, and just did get out of the way of a check from Ruutu there. So Wisnowski's kind of been a target here in the third period. Puck slapped around the boards on the left side, cleared to center, and back checking is Wilsey to take it away. Throws it down in deep. Picked up there by Rob Scuderi. Now on the right side, fired down in deep by Thornburn, back behind the net. Aaron Miller rolls away for a moment, then cleared out to center ice though by O'Sullivan, and a shot from the right side deflected wide, and loose puck taken by the Penguins. Back to center ice. Conroy got that shot, but it was deflected, and Frolov back to get it. Frolov, Conroy, and Avery up front for the Kings. Miller and Nordstrom back defensively, and the Penguins, Sergei Gonchar has it.
Kind of scrambly here the last 5 minutes or so. Earlier in the game, certainly the first two periods, we had end-to-end action as far as rush attacks. Now it seems to have slowed down, and again, the ability to make two passes in a row difficult for each team.
Crosby threw it around the left side. Now Willett into the corner, chased there by Aaron Miller. Miller pokes it ahead to Kopitar, but he didn't clear it out. Crosby drops it off to Malkin. Malkin back to Crosby, backhander wide. Backhand pass, backhand shot, and it went wide. Malkin shoots, and a save. Nice save there as Malkin got the puck away from Avery and got a shot. And Kluche came up with a save, and we're still tied at 3. 5:49 left to go in this period. Pittsburgh has outshot the Kings 5-2. Here's Kopitar. Kopitar put it back behind the net. Fleury cuts it off there. Then a hard check there as Dustin Brown came running in and threw a check as the puck picked up, and Whitney throws it in. He was the recipient of that check. Puck taken by the Kings again. Back to center ice they come, and Dahlman gets stopped at center ice. Nils Ekman gives it to Recchi. Recchi's pass, and a shot blocked. That shot by Staal. Recchi again, threw it in front, tipped away. Recchi has it again. Staal right in the slot, can't get his stick on it, or did, but it bounced off his stick. Kings back to center. Here's Wilsey over now to Camilleri. Tried to get out of the middle. It got knocked down and not into the net, and the net is dislodged. Crawford is up on the bench streaming. We'll be back.
Right up 3-3.
Now the puck slides all the way back in the King zone. Wisnowski touches up for an icing call against Pittsburgh. Under 5 minutes to go now in the third period, and Mark Crawford really upset just as we went to break over no penalty being called.
Yeah, Camilleri made the move, tried the one-on-one move, and it was actually after Camilleri went around the defenseman that perhaps there was a free hand used, and that's what Mark Crawford was upset with. Settling down here, though, last 5 minutes, end zone draw.
Kopitar wins the faceoff. Back to Blake at the right point. Blake gives it to Camilleri. His shot wide. Rebound off the boards to Wisnowski. Wisnowski tried to give it to Kopitar. He tried to give it to Camilleri, but it's taken away. Camilleri intercept. Camilleri still with it. Turns. His shot just wide. Rebound Kopitar. Kopitar behind the net had trouble corralling the puck. He's checked in the corner now as Noah Welch is all over him. Puck comes to the blue line. Blake gets it to Wisnowski. Wisnowski shoots, and a save by Fleury. Puck cleared to the right point. Again, Blake is there to hold it in. He put it over to Brown. Brown gets checked as he spun away from the check, and it comes up to center ice. Taken there by Maxime Talbot. And an offside called against Pittsburgh.
Dustin Brown was in on the forecheck for the Kings once again. Colby Armstrong had dead sights on Brown, and Brown has told us that he's felt much better again. Talked about a little lighter this year, 15 pounds lighter. The legs are going back and forth. He says it's very difficult, like most players would find it on the bench sometimes with a lot of penalties early in the game. He says he just tries to focus on keeping the legs loose. It's an adjustment. You have to be more focused, more concentrated, and he certainly made that adjustment because the last 4 or 5 games or so, even before he started putting points on the board, Dustin Brown certainly skating a lot better.
Last season, Pittsburgh allowed the most goals in the NHL for the second straight year, 310 goals against. Shot by Avery is wide to the right. Malkin clears it out to center. Just poked away there, and Penguins get it back again. Check of the blue line by Nordstrom on Ruutu. Now barreling in is Ruutu trying to get to it. Tipped out to the right point. Held in by Gonchar. His pass up high in the air. And played back behind the net by Roulette. Up the middle of Gonchar. And he broke his stick on the shot. And the Kings bring it out to center ice. Avery across the line to Conroy. Conroy to Avery. And it's blocked on the way. Mark Eaton got in the way of that shot. And the puck comes back into the Kings zone. 3:15 to go in regulation. 3-3 the score. Avery sends it back in deep, but an offside called against the Kings.
Now both teams continue to try to go forward at the same time. It looks like all teams at least have one man high at all times, and certainly that's important at any time, but even more so here. You get down near the end of the game. An outnumbered attack is something you don't want to give up. But again, the pressure was on there that last shift by the Penguins. If not for the broken stick of Gonchar, perhaps a quality shot on net.
Kings took 3 penalties in the first period. They've settled down now. As you heard Aaron Miller talk earlier and say, we've got to stay out of the penalty box against these guys. Well, they have. There have been only 6 penalties in the game. 2 against Pittsburgh and 4 against the Kings. Puck comes across the blue line and off the back there of Jordan Stahl. Now Recchi goes for the neutral zone. Kings take it away. Brian Wilsey, his shot blocked as it hit the skate of Ryan Whitney. Now down the right side, Stahl gets knocked down, and back to get it is Armstrong. Wisnowski was all over Stahl. Here's Armstrong to center, still with it, into the zone, gets it there, and a shot by Thornton deflected off a skate. Puck comes to the right point. Sopel behind the net to Armstrong. Armstrong with 2.5 minutes to go in regulation. Check them on the boards. Armstrong still with it. Armstrong's pass back to the right point. Sopel shoots. Knocked down in front by the goaltender. Sopel again gives it to Armstrong. Armstrong on the right side. He's shoved from behind by Melikar. And the loose puck is taken by the Penguins. 2:10 to go. Third period. Pass on the right side. Driving in deep is Whitney, and his pass comes back to the right point. Sent back behind the King net. Here's Nordstrom back to get it. He gets some help from Sopel. Sopel to Thornton. Thornton for the King. Feeds it over to Sopel. Sopel across the line. Gets a shot. An easy save in the made in the Penguin zone. Andrei Kopitar wins the draw. Back to Wisnowski. Wisnowski to Kopitar. Kopitar to the right point, but it was tipped and came out to center, and Blake threw it back in. Kings have to get back on side. Penguins have it. They start out of the zone, and now we're down to 1:30 left to go in regulation. Penguins held it right on the line. It comes right toward the goaltender, and at the last moment, Boucher saw it and knocked it away with his stick. Kings get it up ahead to Brown. Dustin Brown, 2 points in the game tonight to Camilleri, but offside would have been called. Yes, it is called now, with 1:14 to go in regulation.
Well, Michael Camilleri way back in the first period, 25 seconds in, scores the first goal of the game. Just jumping on a loose puck. And once again, I just have to say about this third period, it's 2 teams that enjoyed a freewheeling 2 periods. Now it's just kind of, yeah, there's been some speed, but as far as actually getting the puck to the net with traffic or someone with a clear-cut pass, just not has happened here in the third period.
Penguins tied it at 7:47 of the third period. Welch from Recchi and Crosby to tie the game. Now it's flipped across the King line. 1 minute left to go in regulation. Here's Crosby. His pass broken up right at the top of the slot. As getting it was Frolov. Frolov clears it out to center ice. Picked up by the Penguins and shoveled back into the neutral zone where the Kings have it again. And Nordstrom flips it up in the air. 41 seconds left to go in regulation. Conroy holds it in, but now Crosby with it. Here's Crosby. Throws it off the right side. Willett chasing it down, going for there. The Kings Nordstrom dug out by the Penguins. Malkin pass in front, and Stahl couldn't get a good shot. Puck taken by the Kings, and Frolov sends it in deep. 20 seconds to go in regulation. Game tied at 3. Puck along the left wing boards. Penguins try to clear, and they do. Pass Sopel. Sopel back to get it. Now down to 10 seconds to go in regulation. Blake's pass to the Penguin line, broken up there. 7 seconds left. Puck comes into the King zone. Sopel back to get it. Sopel clears it ahead, and it looks like we're going to go to overtime, and we are. That's the end of regulation. 3-3 the score as we get ready to go to overtime. Is the situation skating-wise in overtime?
A little bit of a chess match here, Bob, because Malkin and Crosby do not start the 4-on-4 overtime. It's Recchi and Stahl up front. The Kings counter with Avery and Wilsey.
And Avery's got it. It pass or a shot or pass hit the side of the net. Kings keep it in. Up the middle, Sopel, and he partially fanned on it, but it came all the way through. Tipped by Wilsey. And now the Penguins back to center. Pass on the right side to Jordan Stahl, and Sopel back with a nice play to take it away. He gets it to center to Kopitar. Kopitar lost it for a moment. Gives it to Sopel now. Sopel, his pass deflects to Wilsey. Out to the left side to Wisnowski. He shoots. It's blocked into the corner by Whitney and played by Gonchar. Puck is tipped to the left point. Kings try to get there to hold it in. They do for a moment as Dustin Brown was there. Now it's tipped out to center.
When Malkin comes on the ice, Bob, for the Pittsburgh Penguins, I'm going to make a prediction. Crosby's following him on the ice.
Yeah, well, you went out on a limb there.
There I did.
Here's Malkin. And Crosby is on the ice. Kopitar is going to go off the ice. Penguins have it. Game tied in overtime. Sergei Gonchar. Gonchar centers. Taken away by the Kings' Dustin Brown. Brown to center. Brown on the right side. Still with it. He shoots. Just wide. Puck comes back to the blue line. Held in.
Of course, Rob Blake's not a bad decision at any time. 4-on-3 power play for the Penguins.
Here's Evgeny Malkin. He gets it. And on the left side, Leclerc. Leclerc sets it up. Gets it back to Crosby. Crosby to Gonchar. Gonchar to Crosby. To Gonchar. He shoots and a save by Cloutier.
Well, you knew that John Leclerc would go to the front of the net, and that's what happens. Two Vermont guys are in front of the net, Aaron Miller and Leclerc. And you can see that in behind Dan Cloutier is trying to pick up the puck. What's going to happen with the traffic in there? Just as the shot is coming through, Leclerc moves out of the way, but square position, no second chance.
Conroy wins the draw for the Kings, but the Penguins jump on the puck. Then a check by Blake, and it comes over to Aaron Miller, and he drives it back behind the net. Minute 32 left to go in the power play for the Penguins. We're in overtime. Game tied at 3. Puck taken by Gonchar. Gonchar dropped it back. Loose puck. Tipped up ahead to the blue line, but not out. Held in again. They get it over to Leclerc. John Leclerc to Sidney Crosby. Crosby with it. Malkin's on the right side. Crosby to Malkin. Tipped on the way, and the Kings have it. And it is cleared. It was tipped by Conroy and then cleared by Miller.
The old fundamental, get the stick in the passing lane, and that's exactly what happened. Just got a piece of it, but enough of a piece where Aaron Miller could jump on the loose puck.
55 seconds left to go in the power play in overtime for Pittsburgh. Here's the pass in deep and just tipped wide off the stick of Cloutier. Loose puck played again by Malkin. Back up the middle. Here's Sergei Gonchar. Gonchar hanging on. Gonchar with it. Moves it over the left side. Gets it back. Gonchar shoots. Save. Malkin scores! And the Penguins win it as Evgeny Malkin gets the overtime winner. His second goal of the night. And the Penguins win it in overtime 4-3.
Well, it's the